Welcome back, ladies and gents. In this video submodule, we are going to cover requesting IFR clearances via voice. Now, something to bear in mind, different aerodromes require different information when you are requesting clearance. Now, we're at Edinburgh currently, and the information that ATC requires when you make initial contact with them is your aircraft type, your stand number, and the code letter of the last ATIS that was received. Any information like that will be found taxi section on the departure charts here, the airport briefing, so that it's essentially all there for you. You can just read through. There's differing requirements at each airport, so it's just something that you'll need to check. So what we will do is we will go ahead and tune to ground. We have already gone through the ATIS in the previous submodule, so that's not something that we need to cover again. But essentially what we're going to do is we are going to call up, we're going to say Edinburgh ground, hello, this is our call sign, EC69 November Lima. We're going to give them our aircraft type, so we're an Airbus A320, our stand number, we're on stand number 7, and the ATIS information, so information Bravo, just to let them know that we have read and received information Bravo, and we will request clearance to our destination, which in this case is Bristol. So we're going to wait for a gap in the frequency, and then we will go ahead and call up. That is something that you need to do when you swap frequencies. Just give it a couple seconds to listen, make sure no one else is transmitting, because that can get quite annoying when you have people stepping on each other, or if someone is needing to read something back and someone calls up. It's not particularly brilliant, so just make sure you listen actively to the frequency before you call up. So we're going to go ahead and wait for a gap now, and then we will call up.
Alpaca 59 X-ray, contact Edinburgh Tower 118.705.
118.705, bye-bye.
Speedbird 106, cleared to destination Gotham 1 Charlie, departure squawk 1070.
Just waiting for the gap.
Cleared by the Gotham 1 Charlie, departure squawk 1070, Speedbird 106.
Speedbird 106, read back correct.
Now, that little gap there, some people may have called in it, but actually you shouldn't, because the controller is awaiting a readback from another aircraft. So although there was a gap on the frequency, there wasn't necessarily a gap in the transmission, because they were awaiting another aircraft to transmit a readback for an instruction that the controller gave them. So that wasn't a good time to call, and that's why we didn't call. We waited for that readback, and then we called up afterwards. Hello, EC69 November Lima, we're in Airbus 320 stand 7 with Bravo. Request clearance please to Bristol.
Easy 69 November Lima, clear to Bristol, Gotham 1 Charlie, departure squawk 6232.
Clear Bristol, Gotham 1 Charlie, squawk 6232, Easy 69 November Lima.
Easy 69 November Lima, read back correct.
Now, that is the format that all clearances follow when speaking to a controller. You have a cleared to destination via X departure, and if there's an initial climb that's not been charted, you'll get the initial climb in the clearance. If not, like Edinburgh here, where the initial climb is charted, there was just a squawk read back to us, the squawk of 6232. Okie dokie, so that was it. That's what an IFR clearance sounds like when you request it on frequency. I'm just going to untune from the frequency so you can hear me speak. So I put 1 Charlie down there because we're on the Gotham 1 Charlie. So this is just, I use this as the notepad. Obviously you can use the notes app or a pen and paper to make note, and I squawk 6232. So obviously we enter that into the aircraft here. You should know how to fly or operate your aircraft type, so you should know what a squawk code is and how to enter it. And then obviously the Gotham 1 Charlie, we enter into the MCDU. So runway 24, Gotham 1 Charlie. And that's it. We've received our clearance. The initial climb is on the chart. The controller has obviously given us our clearance. They now know that we are cleared, and our squawk code is in there, which allows ATC to identify who we are. That's it. really. It's not that complicated, to be honest. You just need to make sure that you request clearance before you depart. You can't just request push and start, and you can't just push and start in taxi. You need IFR clearance, no matter what aerodrome you're at. In some airports, this is the case in America. What will happen, because they have slightly different systems over there, when you connect up to the VATSIM network, you will automatically receive a PDC. A PDC is a pre-departure clearance. That'll be covered in the sub-module called PDC, so I'll talk a little bit more about that there. But that is how you request a voice clearance. It doesn't differ where you are. You still give the same information, and if there's any additional information that you need to give, you can find it on the charts in the general airport briefing sections, or the departure airport briefing sections, which fall under the taxi charts on Navigraph. That's pretty much it. I will see you guys in the next module, which is PDC.